You want to know what the most fucked up thing you could probably say to a child between the ages of like 4 or 5?
What?
Or at least the early years?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh,
I know that might be...
That's triggering.
Yeah, maybe controversial isn't the right term, but in my opinion, I think that is one of the worst things that you could ask a child.
Yeah.
Because, like, things change along the way. Like, when someone asked you when you were a little kid, did anybody ask you what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Oh, all the time. There was like, oh, what do you think you're gonna do when you grow up? And like, you have any dreams or plans? And I'm like, I am 2. Like, what? Yeah. What do you mean?
The only dreams I have are at night, and when
like
I'm having waking nightmares of the Teletubby vacuum coming at me at night. We've discussed this before, right? Yeah, Nunu. Yeah. What were some of the things that you said you wanted to be when you grew up to adults around you whenever they asked you that question? Whether it was teachers, your parents, even friends. I mean, friends that were, your age, not adults, because that'd be weird.
I'm just like 7 and I have like a 30-year-old friend. Oh, hey. But I think at one point I said I wanted to be a doctor. Like, of all things, like, I hate school. And I feel like that career is the longest fucking schooling you could pick.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to look this up. I wonder, I don't know how long it necessarily takes to be a
I guess it depends on what field.
Wow, it says 4 years. It says typically lasts 4 years, but it's generally followed by a residency, and it could amount to a combined 10 years or longer of medical training. Dude, I can't even imagine going to school, because you go to school for from like kindergarten to high school. That's 12 years of your life.
It's a hot minute. And then to go for 10 more years when you're supposed to be living it up in your 20s and shit, like, I
can't even imagine. I couldn't even make it through my second year of college.
I couldn't even make it through high school.
Hey, it's okay. Wait, what grade did you drop out in again?
So technically, I was moved to a different like an alternative school in like 10th grade. And then I officially dropped out when I was like 18, because that's when I could.
Yeah, that's right.
And my birthday's late, so I was 18 still in high school.
I don't know if I don't think I had turned 18 when I graduated high school. I think I was still 17. I don't remember. I was about to ask what year you graduated, and that turns out I have not been listening to you at all.
It was supposed to be in 2016. I was 2016.
Okay.
Graduate.
Okay. Yeah, I graduated in 2014.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Education is overrated. I say that now as I have a job where like I'm not really living the dream, so to speak. But then again, just because you get a degree doesn't mean you're going to be living the dream anyway.
Exactly.
I think it's very much you can be as good as you possibly can at the profession you want to have a career with, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get the job. You could be working for years as in a lower level position and possibly never get moved up, or just end up somewhere doing I don't know, like clerical work or something, or something that you didn't even go to study for. And it sucks. My heart goes out to anybody who's listening to this right now that has been in this or is still in this position, where you aren't able to make a living doing what you love. And for a lot of people, like I said, it is you can be the best at what you do, but sometimes you just don't get the recognition for it, and sometimes you never will. And that sucks. That's just one of the biggest fuck yous in life.
Yeah, I feel like college, I guess, is really hit or miss, because you will be thousands of dollars in debt because student loans or whatever the fuck, or tuition. But you'll spend all this money and all this time for a degree that it doesn't guarantee you're going to get the job.
Right.
Or
a
like
piece of
be
paper
in that
doesn't
field.
guarantee shit.
Yeah. There's so many people with degrees that are still looking for jobs that it's like, okay, so I need this degree to get a job, but I'm out here looking for jobs and I can't get a job. So what's happening?
Yeah. It's very much luck based.
Yeah.
You know, and you can work for years and years at it. But I think a lot of it sometimes comes down to, you know, you got to be at the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
I had a lot of, I think I went through a lot of different things that I wanted to be as a kid. You know, when I was younger, it started out as I wanted to be a cop at one point.
I thought about being a cop as well. Or like being a detective because I love true crime shit. So
same.
I always thought like being a detective or like something in like the forensic team like would be so cool. But also I feel like it's very mentally draining. Like you need to have like
see a
tough
lot
skin.
of shit.
Yeah, you need to like be mentally sound. Even though a lot of cops aren't, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's another whole that's another thing.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, we'll save that for another episode. We'll save that for another day. But yeah, I can't believe I wanted to be a cop, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely faded out right around the time I think I wanted to become a professional wrestler.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever explained this, but I know we've talked about like my love of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
As I don't know why. It's one of those things that, you know, like I grew up, I loved Power Rangers as a kid.
Yeah.
I loved like a bunch of different things as a kid. But like the one thing that I never grew out of were two things: video games and professional wrestling. And for some reason, I think the two go hand in hand. But I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was like 11. I started watching professional wrestling when I was like 8 or 9. And then when I was 11, I was like, I want to do this. And of course, back then, like the only wrestling that I knew of was WWE.
Yeah.
Right. So I was never going to be, you know, I mean, look at me. I'm standing up right now. Look at me. I'm just like, I'm a little fucking skinny dude. You know, I was never, ever going to. I remember I told my cousin one time that I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And you know what he said to me?
What?
He's like, you'll never be a professional wrestler because you have to do steroids to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah. Do you really?
I mean, back then, yeah, I'm sure, you know, with the whole,
yeah, they were,
you know,
large as
like,
fuck.
you cannot tell me, you cannot look at someone like Macho Man Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan and say that they were not on something.
Oh my God. I feel like they still are. At least Hulk. Redacted is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he is because he's so old now. And also, Randy Savage is dead.
Well, yeah.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, but then when I started picking up the drums, thanks to one of my good friends, I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to be a musician, and that was the dream for the remainder of my academic years. And I went to school for music. Turned out I didn't like it, like at least the structure of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's very different, like going to school for music, because you learn about like music theory and like all of the shit behind it, and it's like it's cool if you're like are a history kind of nerd about it,
right?
But at the same time, it's like,
like I was going to school for audio engineering. But the program was very much, you know, we want you to be a very well-rounded musician, which helps, you know, if you're gonna work in a studio, you should know the technical aspects of, you know,
100%.
not just, you know, how audio works, how to set up microphones, how to set up like sound spaces and studios and whatnot, but you should know, you know, music theory, you should know your instrument well, you should know other instruments well. Because if you want to be working in a studio, you should know all this shit. It really helps, right?
Yeah.
I was when I was in elementary school, I picked up the violin because that was the only thing that was offered at the time. It was orchestra. When you were in 4th grade at the school I was at, you were able to start joining the orchestra, and I picked violin, and then I did that all throughout middle school. And around 7th grade, I wanted to transfer from orchestra to band because I was like very much in love with the drums. I wasn't a great drummer then, you know. I was kind of just like a year in, but I was all for the drums.
I would have loved to have been in percussion in a band when I was in middle school. I was forced into the brass section.
Yeah, and I asked the band director if I could, because there were different sections, you know, we had orchestra, band, and chorus. And I went to the band director and I asked, you know, is this something that could happen? And, you know, they had never had somebody ask this before. For some strange reason, they've never had a student ask to transfer. So
they're like, oh God, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? They're like panicking. Like, it's like the scene where they go into SpongeBob's brain and like there's like a million different SpongeBobs like running around and it's like everything's on fire. So they decided to like give me a quote unquote audition. So at the time I was in a pipe band. If you don't know what a pipe band is, it's like a marching band, but it's like, you know, with bagpipes, tenor drums, bass drums, and snare drums. And we all wear kilts and we wear like big fuzzy hats and like whatnot. And I definitely have a photo of it. I'm gonna grab the photo that I have off of Facebook. I'm gonna post it right here. So yeah, look at that. Look at me in the kilt. Just like imagine you're looking at me right now. Just like what do you think?
You're channeling your inner Scottish.
Actually, no, I don't know why I can't just show you this right now. That's what I'm going to do right now, actually. I'm going to hang on. I'm going to go to.
I'm going to hang on. Oh, hell.
Look at that.
Look at it. It's your little kilt.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
That's me right here.
That's so fucking funny.
To wrap this up, I ended up failing my audition to get into the school, into the program that I wanted to, because I was trying to catch up to learn the amount of stuff that I needed to, you know, kind of hang with the students, the percussion students that had, you know, spent the last several years, like from like elementary school to middle school to high school, you know, learning like percussion and stuff. And I had to do it in a very short amount of time because when I went to private school, we had a band, but it wasn't like at the level that I was supposed to be at. It was very much like, it was divided into the middle school and high school. So it was middle school students and high school students. So there had to be a compromise, right?
Oh.
So it wasn't difficult music. So I wasn't prepared, essentially. And I had a whole year of tutoring and stuff to try and get me there, but it just wasn't clicking for me. So I ended up failing the audition. And after my audition, you know, I had a panel of 3 judges, and you know what one of them said?
What?
They're like, that was bad. And I was like, oh God.
No. How?
And from that moment, like they were just like, we can't pass you. We're sorry that you spent a year in the program. Like they had a program to get you ready for the audition.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're sorry that you essentially wasted a year, but you know, like that wasn't good.
Wasted a year. Oh.
And I was crushed. And from that point on, I think the desire to want to, you know, be a musician and whatnot, it was just gone. And like, granted, like I had a reprieve, like when I was streaming drums on Mixer.
Yeah.
And I started kind of like building kind of a reputation for being a musician on the platform. That was like what felt like the next step in, you know, my musical journey. But then that came to an abrupt end. So now I don't know what I want to fucking do with my life, man. Expectations.
I get that. I still don't know what I want to do either. I wanted to be a musician ever since I was born.
Ever since you came out of the womb, you were like, yes, this is what I want to be.
Exactly. I came out with a guitar. I was like,
that's exactly what it sounded like. You came out with like a little guitar, like
came out with a banjo.
Wow, your mom must have fucking been in so much pain when she delivered the banjo. It's like one of the, you know, like when you're tightening a string and you tighten it like too hard when you're tuning and it just goes like,
oh
and
my
it just
God.
Like snaps off.
I've done
it's
that
like
so many
all of them
times.
snap off as you're coming out of the womb, and then she's like,
yo, that would be fucking traumatizing.
As if it's not traumatizing enough that you're pushing a little human out of your fucking vagina.
But also an instrument.
Yes, the vagina is an instrument.
No, dumbass. I meant pushing out an instrument. Yes, the vagina is an instrument. It is a flute.
Yeah. What if you were just able to just like belt out like notes, like a queef, but it's like musical notes and you could play a tune?
No. It has like low valves, like a trumpet.
Yeah. Well, we went from childhood expectations to musical queefs.
That's crazy.
All right, be right back. I gotta poop.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but I burnt the fuck out of my finger. I think like a week or two ago. And now there's just this blister and it won't come off. And it's just so I keep fucking with that.
I think we veered off topic here. We got to go back to the childhood expectations. I literally just went through like my whole entire expectations of myself as opposed to childhood expectations of what people thought of us. So I apologize, everybody, for once again doing the thing that we do all the time, just getting off of our consistency.
You know, we are consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's our brand.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that is our brand. It's not a brand that I really want to carry around much longer.
No, I think it's cool. It sets us apart. We're real.
I think adults should stop asking kids at such a young age what they want to be when they grow up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like it just sets so much pressure off the bat. Like, you need to be thinking about what you want to do as soon as you're fucking born. Like, what the fuck?
25 worst things you can say to your kids. Number 1, practice makes perfect. Though it is true that practicing any craft inherently makes us better at said craft, preaching this idea of perfection to your child can be confusing for them, as they may strive to reach a level of talent that just isn't achievable for them. I mean, there is a reason why rock stars are paid the big bucks, because at the end of the day, natural talent allows you to take that extra step. So as you guys can see, the title of this episode is Theme Parks and Expectations. We have not talked about theme parks yet, theme parks. You live in Florida. You have a ton of theme parks.
I live in like the center of like where theme parks are.
You're very lucky in that regard, but there are a lot of theme park horror stories. I have one of my own personally regarding a wave pool and what I thought was a potentially severed toe.
Oh my
God. Or a toe that was hanging off by thread. Do you have, I feel like I've been doing a lot. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Do you have any stories from Florida, like whether personal or like you're just ones that you've heard of?
So I remember this actually just now. I was at this water park called Rapids. It has like a whole bunch of like water slides and like different shit to do and stuff. It's just like a giant water park. And there was this one slide I was going on. I don't know. It was like, you know how sometimes you have like the rafts when you're on a water slide and then sometimes it's just you?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was one where it was just me. And I remember going down the slide and there was this one turn that I guess I hit too hard and my head flew back and I hit the back of my head on the slide.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
And like for a second, everything was kind of just like fuzzy. And like, just like, I was kind of dazed for a second and just going down the slide, just like laying down like,
Oh no. Did you feel like nauseous afterwards?
A little bit.
Oh no. Did you get checked out?
I was pretty fine. Like, it just, for a second, I felt weird. And then like, after I like went into the pool and then like I came out, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better. But I think also what made me like kind of dizzy and shit is like I hadn't eaten that day. And it was very hot. And, you know, like swimming, it fucking exposed a lot of energy. So it was just a lot. I remember like sitting down because my good friend at the time and her dad took me. Mm-hmm. So I remember like sitting down in like the line of a ride and I was like, I just need a second. And like he just gave tiny and her dad gave me like a water. I was like, okay, thanks.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was a time. But I'm good.
I get so concerned over people hitting their heads. Like, as I've gotten older and have, like, learned more about concussions and, like, CTE, going back to, like me being a professional wrestling fan, like I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Chris Benoit, like things like that, I just like, man, head injuries are scary. But yeah, no, I'm glad you're okay.
Yes.
I'm glad that you don't have any lingering effects from that. I mean, granted, you can't do math very well, but neither can I.
That's where it all started.
That's why. From that water park. How young were you? Were you still in school at that point?
Yeah, no, I was in like middle school. No.
Okay.
Middle school? Yes, no, middle school.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why you ended up dropping out, because of that
Because
little
of
bump
that
to
water
your head.
park.
You just couldn't hang anymore.
Just gotta sue Rapids.
Imagine if you didn't go to that water park, you would have been able
I would
to
have been a
finish high
scientist.
school. Yeah, or a doctor.
If I didn't hit my head on that one ride.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
So many people had so many great expectations from you, but
I fucked it up.
had to go to that water park.
I had to get on that slide.
Yeah. I would never go to a water park now.
Oh yeah, that
because of
shit's
just
so gross. Like, if you think about it,
I could say something right now that would gross everybody out, and you will never want to go to a water
How
park
many
again.
gallons of piss are in that water?
Yeah,
because of so many people.
You ever go underwater and you see someone's just like bloody Band-Aid? Just
Bro, I can't. Like, I just...
Next time you go to a theme park and you see a bunch of people in a wave pool, think about this. Everybody's butthole is touching that water.
literally everybody's genitals, butthole, everything is just touching that water. And
it's a gigantic genital stew.
It's literally just a soup of people. And sometimes, when you like inhale water sometimes, imagine.
When you go underwater and you get that, like, you come up and you get that water just like dripping down your face and you get it in your mouth and you just like go, you got someone's, yeah. So my story comes from actually being in a wave pool. This was summer camp. We used to go, I was probably like 8 or 9 at the time, and during the week there were times when we would go to theme parks. We would go to Lake George, we would go to the Great Escape, and that's like a branch off of Six Flags.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to Six Flags.
Six Flags is great. We went there for our senior trip in high school. It was a good day. We got in there and it was a crowded day. I believe it was a Friday, so it was very busy. There was a ton of people in the water park, and I decided to go into the wave pool. We broke off into different groups, right? And the counselors would be in there, like, with us, like, kind of like in our own general area. We'd have to, like, stay within a certain space. The certain space that we were in, for some reason, was one of the most crowded areas. And when one of the big waves came by, because, have you been in a wave pool before?
Yeah.
You know how, like, it's like some small waves, but then there's, like, at one point, this big wave comes in. The big wave came in, and I was, like, right behind this really big, overweight dude. I got, like, sideswiped, and he stepped on my big toe really hard. And it ripped my nail almost clean off, but it was hanging by a thread. And at that point in my life, that was the worst pain that I'd ever felt in my life. So I didn't want to look at it, but I could like feel like the water, like pushing up against like the nail, and it was like kind of like moving it and like twisting it.
Oh my
and
God.
I thought that he had stepped on my toe so hard that it severed it and was hanging by a thread.
But in reality, it was just your nail.
But reality was just my nail. But at the time, that was just as equally terrifying.
I would have died. I would have just drowned.
And just like 4 inches of water.
You just drowned.
4 feet of water, just like drowned.
4 inches of water.
Yeah, 4 inches.
It's like a glass.
Yeah, I know, bro. Like, why did I say 4 inches?
4 inches.
But anyway.
Just the thought of like being in a glass, like
just like poop. So what ended up happening was I ended up getting taken to get seen by one of the on-site medical professionals, and they had to cut it off. They had to cut my nail off. Ooh. And then they wrapped it up, and that was like one of the most traumatic experiences of my fucking life. I don't think the man apologized.
Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I hope he died of a heart attack on his recliner shortly after that.
God.
Hey, he took my toenail, okay? He deserves to have his life taken.
Take my toenail, I'll take your life.
It only seems fair, you know?
Yes. Very equal.
Has there ever been like a big news story in Florida regarding whether it's Universal or Disney where like people have died on rides?
Universal. God. That's dark as fuck. It's not really...
yes, please.
So it says, Disney is a place where families and friends go to make lifelong memories, and some people choose to honor those memories by laying their loved ones to rest inside the parks. Yep, we're talking about ashes. According to Insider, it's pretty common for Disney to have to deal with park guests scattering the remains of their loved ones inside of the parks. In fact, they say it happens at least once a month, with the most popular place being inside the Haunted Mansion attraction.
There are literal ghosts in the Haunted Mansion.
Literal.
I've been on that ride.
Ghosts. I fucking love the Haunted Mansion.
I don't know why, but I was thinking of Grandma always loved the teacup ride, and you dump the ashes out while they're on the ride, and because they're going around, the wind picks up, and people just get ashes in their face.
Everyone's just inhaling Grandma. I'm like, no. Oh shit. Okay, well this one. On February 14th, 2006, a 70-year-old man was injured as he became pinned underneath one of the ride's vehicles after falling from the conveyor belt. He was taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center by helicopter with life-threatening injuries. The ride temporarily shut down operations that same evening. Oh no. A 69-year-old man fractured his hip while getting off the ride.
Getting off the ride?
What happened, bro? What happened?
I mean, I get when you get older, you know, like any kind of like
hard.
fall can like really fuck you up.
No, yeah, it can fuck you up.
You just gotta step onto the platform, right?
You just gotta get off.
Maybe like when he was going around a turn really hard, because you ever been on a wooden roller coaster?
Oh, yeah.
Those, for some reason, I hate those because when you take a sharp turn, I think it's just the way that it's designed. It's just like a really sharp turn can like hurt your neck. Maybe he like got like a little crack in his hip when he was going around a sharp turn, and then the second that he stepped out, his like hip gave out on him.
No. Oh, there's this one on. Have you been on Splash Mountain?
No.
Well, it's just like where you're in like those log.
Oh yes, I've been.
Yeah. And there's like that big drop at the end.
Yeah, they have that at the Great Escape. I've been on that a lot.
Yeah. So there's this one. On November 5th, 2000, a 37-year-old man from St. Petersburg, Florida, was fatally injured while trying to exit the ride vehicle while it was moving. He told fellow passengers that he felt ill and attempted to reach one of the attraction's marked emergency exits. He was struck by the following ride vehicle and died at Celebration Hospital.
Oh, where did he get off?
I don't know.
I feel like the Splash
Just getting
Mountain,
off on the fucking drop, like, hold on, guys. Like, what
he like backs out and he's trying to like climb up like the steep like ramp, and then the other one just comes down and then just like oh,
poor guy.
There's, you know how they take your photos on the rides?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, this one's probably gonna be good.
No, it's so bad.
Gee, that's even better.
Oh, no.
But you know how they take your pictures on like the rides, like the automated pictures?
Uh-huh.
There's a picture somewhere. I don't have it in digital format, but if I can get my hands on it sometime, I will take a picture of it and send it to you. But I think I was very, very young, and it was my first time going on that ride. And there's a picture from it where we're going down, and everybody's having a good time. Everyone has their hands up. Everyone's smiling, and my dad is like holding my hands up with his hands, and I'm just crying.
That reminds me of this one ride. I think it's in Disney. It's like a Jurassic Park ride. And there's this one, like, towards the end where you're, like, there's, like, this drop, but, like, above it, there's, like, this big-ass, like, animatronic T-Rex that's, like, roaring and shit.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they take a picture during that part. Oh, my God.
Were you screaming?
I was covering my eyes and my ears at the same time and just, like, while everyone's just having a good time.
Oh,
and just
so
being like,
funny.
woo!
That's exactly what mine was like. It's just so funny because I can vividly picture it in my head now. Like, my dad is just like, he's like, yeah. Even my, like, youngest sister, who was, like, 2 years younger than me, was having a great time. My brother was having a good time. And, like, my dad just holding my little arms up.
Oh, I'm crying.
That's so funny. Oh, man. But what were you saying? What's the bad one?
It's so stupid, but, like, poor kid. So, it's at the Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. In March 2010, a 4-year-old boy from San Diego, California, suffered severe face and neck burns after being scalded by a tray of hot nacho cheese. The accident occurred when the boy sat down to dinner in an unstable chair and grabbed a food tray to prevent himself from falling, resulting in the cheese falling off the tray and into his lap. The child's parents sued Disney, with their attorney claiming that the cheese should not have been that hot. and then Disney made no effort to regulate and monitor the temperature of the nacho cheese, which was being served to young children. Jesus Christ.
Here's
Disney.
my eyes.
What the fuck?
I don't know about you, but I like my nacho cheese when it's hot. I don't like
I like it scalding.
Yeah.
So, fuck off, kid.
Yeah.
Get good.
If I don't burn the roof of my mouth, you can take your nachos and go fuck yourself. So did they win the lawsuit?
The family settled out of court in 2011.
Of course they did. It's always a settlement with big things like that.
Yeah, because they can't really win. And, like, I feel like it's just to prevent, like, more bad publicity.
Yeah.
Publicity. They're like, here's some money.
Disney has done some shit.
Some sus.
Sure. Question: have you ever heard of Action Park?
No.
There's a YouTube documentary on it by the Defunct Land. Is a good channel. We should watch it sometime. Okay. But I won't go too deep into it because we are a little far into the recording session. But yeah. Action Park is a very problematic park. A lot of the staff were underage. They sold alcohol at the park, and they were very kind of like relaxed on like the drinking age stuff and whatnot. And there were a lot of unsafe rides. People have died. People have gotten severely injured. Like, let me pull up the Wikipedia here for it real quick. Visitors were essentially like using rides that hadn't really been tested that much.
Ooh, that's problematic.
Yeah, a lot of employees didn't really take their job seriously. They didn't really enforce rules or have like cleanliness. They didn't like sanitize things properly. And like I said, a lot of them were like underage and not trained well. 6 people are known to have died directly or indirectly from rides at Action Park. July 8th, 1980, 19-year-old George Larson Jr. was riding the Alpine slide when his car jumped the track and his head struck a rock, killing him.
Holy fuck.
That was like one of those, like when you're on like a cart and you're on that rail and you're going down like a slope or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. August 1st, 1982, a 27-year-old man from Long Island got out of his tipped kayak on the kayak experience to
Not the kayak experience.
While doing so, he stepped on a grate that was either in contact with or came too close to a section of live wiring for the underwater fans that somehow became exposed, and he suffered a severe electric shock which sent him into cardiac arrest.
Fuck. Is he alive?
No, he died. Several other members of his family nearby were also injured. He was taken to a hospital nearby Warwick, New York, where he died later of the shock-induced cardiac arrest. The park at first disputed that the electric current caused his death, saying there were no burns on his body, but the coroner responded that burns generally do not occur in a water-based electrocution. The ride was drained and closed for the investigation. Accounts differed as to the extent of the exposed wiring. The park said it was just a nick, while others argued it was closer to 8 inches.
8 inches of water? That's 2 glasses.
Yeah. Apparently, like, this is a very famous park. A lot of people went to it. A lot of people have memories of going to Action Park. Its legacy speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, theme parks.
I love theme parks.
All right, Ho, you want to get into some trivia?
Yes.
I think it's about that time. As you guys know, on this show, we do random trivia every single episode. We have 10 minutes. Fuck.
We have 10 minutes to answer 2 questions.
And if you don't get them right, well, you're such a fucking idiot. All right. We have 10 questions, and we have 2 minutes to answer every single question. I'm going to flip a coin. Would you like heads or tails?
Heads.
All right, here we go. It's heads.
Hey.
All right. So that means you get to ask me first.
Yes. Put 2 minutes on the clock. Number 1. How many steps does the Empire State Building have? You're from New York.
Well, I don't live in New York City. I've never been inside the Empire State Building.
Really?
Well, yeah. Wait, like inside it or leading up to it?
What do you mean?
Like inside the. I'm running out of time. Okay. 100,000.
100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2. What classic book inspired the name of Starbucks?
What?
What classic book inspired the name of Starbucks?
Matilda. It's Daddy Warbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks.
Number
$4.
How many strings are? Sorry. How many strings are on a baritone ukulele?
4.
Number 4. Mace is the outer covering of which common spice?
Mace.
What is Nike's signature symbol called?
Wait, oh no, I was like, pepper.
Okay, cool. Number 5. What is Nike's signature symbol called?
The swoosh.
Number 6. Where was Winona Ryder caught shoplifting?
Oh, fuck.
30 seconds.
Los Angeles.
What video game got its name from a Japanese mistranslation of King Kong?
Oh, God.
15 seconds.
Tekken.
Which superhero's powers could be taken away by the color yellow?
What?
Think about it. 3 seconds.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow. That was bad.
You got to number 8.
Got to number 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. 2 minutes on the clock for you, my dear.
Yeehaw.
Number 1. Which team did Babe Ruth join in 1920?
The Yankees?
Number 2. Who released the 1970s album entitled Pretzel Logic?
1980.
1970.
Oh, 1970. Led Zeppelin.
Number 3. Which character was most seriously injured by the winged monkeys in the film The Wizard of Oz?
Was it Scarecrow?
Number 4. How much does it cost to buy a railroad in the standard game of Monopoly?
$500.
What color is pure caffeine?
White.
Number 6. The city of Albuquerque is located in what desert?
Oh. I was gonna say New Mexico. I don't know.
Number 7. What does Charlie Brown set out to do in the made-for-TV special A Charlie Brown Christmas? 35 seconds.
Get Santa.
Number 8. What hit maker produced the 2003 PlayStation music mixer game Beaterator?
What? What? Who?
What hit maker produced? Like what company produced the 2003 PlayStation music game Beaterator? 10 seconds.
Sega.
Okay. Number 9. What color is the ring of death that signifies your Xbox 360 is broken forever?
Red.
All right. Time's up.
Okay.
You got to 9.
Cool.
So congratulations. Fuck you. All right. Let's do this thing. All right.
All right. I could read yours first.
Yeah, sure.
So number 1. How many steps does the Empire State Building have? You said 100,000. It's 1,860.
Oh, so fucking close. So close. Fucking close. You can't just give it to me.
So close. You were
Don't
just
laugh. I'm being serious.
99,000 off. Okay. Number 2. What classic book inspired the name of Starbucks? You said Matilda? It's Moby Dick.
Started with an M.
It's so close.
You can't just give it to me.
Number 3. How many strings are on a baritone ukulele? You said 4. That is correct. Number 4. Mace is the outer covering of which common spice? I thought you just said mace. I was like, okay.
It was kind of like, I was like, mace? Like, what? Because I'm thinking, like, you know, like, creepy dude comes up behind you in a dark alley and you spray him with mace.
Yeah. So it's the outer covering of nutmeg. You said pepper. Number 5. What is Nike's signature symbol called? You said the swoosh. That is correct. Number 6. Where was Winona Ryder caught shoplifting? You said Los Angeles. It was at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Saks Fifth Avenue. Where's Saks Fifth Avenue?
Saks Fifth Avenue. Well, it's a store. It's in New York.
Fuck. Okay. Also, can we just, like, really quick appreciate Winona Ryder?
She's a gem.
Love her. Loved her since Beetlejuice.
Number 7. What video game got its name from the Japanese mistranslation of King Kong? What did you say?
Tekken.
It's Donkey Kong.
I thought it was. I was like Donkey. I was gonna say Donkey Kong, but like I wasn't sure. I was reading too much into it. I overthink things a lot.
That'll be the death of you.
Yeah, there's no way. I was like, no, this is not right. This is no way.
There's no way. Number 8. Which superhero's powers could be taken away by the color yellow? Did you answer that?
I said I don't know.
Oh, it's the Green Lantern.
The Green Lantern. Okay, I never saw Green Lantern. I'm not familiar with Green Lantern.
That's valid. Yeah. Do you want to try the 9 and 10?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the longest running U.S. game show?
The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what is a group of locusts called?
A swarm.
Nope, it's a plague.
Plague. No, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So you got 2 right.
For you, number 1. Which team did Babe Ruth join in 1920? You said the New York Yankees. That's correct. Number 2, who released the 1970s album entitled Pretzel Logic? Did I say 1980?
I don't know. I think I just blacked out, to be honest with you.
That's okay. That checks out. You said Led Zeppelin. It's Steely Dan.
Nice.
Number 3, which character was most seriously injured by the winged monkeys in the film The Wizard of Oz? You said the Scarecrow. That's correct. Number 4, how much does it cost to buy a railroad in the standard game of Monopoly? You said $500. It's $200.
Damn, I was going to say 200 too.
You know, I've never finished a game of Monopoly. I've always started it, but I've never finished it.
Nope. It's too much.
Yeah, way too much. Number 5, what color is pure caffeine? You said white. That is correct.
Nice.
Number 6, the city of Albuquerque is located in what desert? You skipped that. It's Chihuahua. Number 7, what does Charlie Brown set out to do in the made-for-TV special Charlie Brown Christmas? You said get Santa. You were confusing that with A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
No, it's find the true meaning of Christmas.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Charlie Brown, little depressed fucker. Number 8, what hit maker produced the 2003 PlayStation music mixer game Beaterator?
I said Sega.
Oh, you said Sega. Okay. It's Timbaland.
Oh.
Number 9. Number 9. What color is the ring of death that signifies that your Xbox 360 is broken forever? You said red. That is correct. And number 10, you didn't get to it, but I'll let you answer it. Number 10, which fashion designer was shot dead in the summer of 1997?
Oh, fuck. What's his name? Was it Versace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard some clicking. You didn't look it up?
No, that was me hitting my chair.
Okay, I believe you. For now.
Yeah, because it was in Miami. His house is like a relic. Like if you drive by it, it's like a memorial kind of.
I just keep thinking of that annoying song where it just keeps saying Versace again and again and again, and I hate it. I'm like, this is what music is now.
I had a friend who would always blast that song. I was like,
fucking
stop!
Kill them. Kill them. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 right.
I'm just built different.
Yeah, you are built different. I need to figure out how they made you, so I can make clones of you,
and
at some point replace you, and then it's like every once in a while you like do something that's like off-putting, and people are like, "Is that really Brianna? Did he clone her?" It's like some kind of like Avril Lavigne situation.
Yeah, I remember when people were genuinely believing that.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa. But yeah, I'm better than Darryl.
Yeah. In so many different ways.
That's it. That's basically the moral of the story.
Is anything else going on in your life that you'd like to discuss?
I'm getting a tattoo and possibly a piercing.
What are you gonna get done?
Piercing wise, I'm thinking of getting snake bites because I've always wanted snake bites. Tattoo wise, I'm getting a dagger with a snake wrapped around it with specifically a king cobra.
Ah, cool.
And then with like roses in the back.
Oh, that's gonna look cool. Where are you gonna get it?
I'm getting it on my forearm.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I have to get a tattoo covered up at some point. It's the I'm sure some of you have seen it before, and it's my Philippians 4:13 tattoo. It is the tattoo that I regret the most. I was young. I was still Catholic. I was stupid. Yeah. And like nothing against religion, but it is not an accurate representation of my beliefs now. Yeah. And if you're out there and you have a tattoo that you regret, if you can get it covered up, cover it up.
Do it. It's relatively easy to cover up a tattoo, except if it's like super big and out there.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen mine, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think that would be easy to cover up?
Yeah, because it's just words.
It's just words, yeah.
Yeah, so you could just put like a cool like design over it. It's like it was never there. But yeah, that's basically all I have planned. I'm going down to see my best friend. Nice. I figured out who like the actual tattoo artist that I got worked on before, that did my bass clef and redid my treble clef and another tattoo that I had, because the artist that I got my treble clef done did horrible. It was so bad.
Really?
And yeah, it was because she tried doing like a faded like shading technique, but it literally just looked like it was half-assed done, and there was just like fucked up lines and shit. Yeah. So the dude who redid it, he did it so well, and it just looks so much fucking better now. It looks like an actual treble clef. But I figured out his name because I didn't know. I never like asked him when I was there, and I felt bad for doing that. So I went on their website and I found him, and Clarissa, she took a picture of like me getting it done, and it confirmed like his name because it had his face and like his name in the background, and I was like, yes. So nice. I get to make an appointment with him because I really want him to do it because I loved his line work.
My artist, she moved to a different place, and I have been meaning to get in touch with her about it. She's on TikTok. Emily C Tattoo. It's all one thing. You can check her out on TikTok. She does a lot of cool work. She's done all of my tattoos except for one, which was the Jesus tattoo.
But yeah, if you want to check out my artist, his name is PL Serrano. I'll like send you the spelling.
Yeah.
So you can put it up. Follow him on Instagram. It just has like some of his work and like his pups. Very cool dude. Very nice guy. He told me I have very nice skin to tattoo. I was like, thank you.
Because you say that to all your customers.
No, literally, because the chick who did my treble clef, who fucked it up, was like, oh, your skin is very rough. I don't know if I can tattoo it very well. Blah, blah, blah. And then this guy was like, hey, you have really nice skin to tattoo. And I was like, what? What's the truth?
So contradicting. Man. Well, I hope you guys have had a fun time listening in on this episode. I had a fun time recording it. We will be back with more shit very soon. I promise you. Or maybe I don't. I don't know what we're doing anymore. Someone send help. Someone call 911.